Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our English Learning Podcast. I'm Jennifer, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Elizabeth. How are you today, Elizabeth?
Hi, Jennifer. I'm doing great, thank you. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're going to embark on a journey through time and explore some of the world's most fascinating ancient civilizations. These civilizations laid the foundations for many aspects of modern society, from language and law to science and art.
That's right, Elizabeth. Today, we'll talk about the incredible achievements, cultural practices, and legacies of several ancient civilizations that have shaped the world as we know it today. So, let's dive in and start with our first civilization, the ancient Egyptians.
Ancient Egypt is one of the most well-known and enduring civilizations in history. Thrived for thousands of years along the fertile banks of the Nile River. The Egyptians are famous for their impressive monuments, such as the Great Pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx, which continue to amaze and mystify people today.
Yes, and the pyramids are just the beginning. The Egyptians were also incredible engineers, mathematicians, and artists. They developed a writing system called hieroglyphics, which used symbols and pictures to represent sounds and ideas. They were pioneers in medicine, developing treatments and surgical procedures that were advanced for their time.
And let's not forget their profound spiritual beliefs. The Egyptians believed in an afterlife and went to great lengths to prepare for it. This is why they mummified their dead, built elaborate tombs, and filled them with treasures and goods they thought would be needed in the next world.
Their legacy continues to influence us today. Many of our modern concepts of time, such as dividing the day into 24 hours, originated in ancient Egypt. And their art, architecture, and mythology remain a source of inspiration for countless cultures around the world.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Now let's travel to another incredible civilization, the ancient Mesopotamians. Jennifer, can you tell us more about them?
Certainly. Mesopotamia is often referred to as the cradle of civilization because it was home to some of the earliest human societies. Located in the region of present-day Iraq, Kuwait, and parts of Syria and Turkey, Mesopotamia was situated between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. These rivers provided fertile land for agriculture, leading to the growth of cities like Ur, Babylon, and Nineveh.
Mesopotamians made remarkable contributions to human development. They invented one of the earliest forms of writing known as cuneiform, which was used for record-keeping, storytelling, and legal documentation. They also developed early forms of mathematics, astronomy, and medicine.
That's right. The Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes, was created in Babylon around 1754 BC. It laid down laws covering various aspects of society, including trade, labor, property, and family. Many of these laws emphasized justice and fairness, and some of their principles continue to influence modern legal systems.
And the Mesopotamians were also incredible builders. They constructed impressive ziggurats, or step temples, that served as religious centers and were dedicated to their gods and goddesses. These structures dominated their cities and were a testament to their architectural skills.
Mesopotamia's contributions to literature, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known stories, continue to captivate readers around the world. It's a civilization that laid the groundwork for much of human culture, law, and governance.
Absolutely fascinating. Now let's move on to our next civilization, the Indus Valley Civilization in South Asia. Jennifer, could you take us there?
Of course. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, flourished around 2500 BCE in what is now Pakistan and northwest India. It was one of the world's earliest urban cultures and one of the largest of its time, with well-planned cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro.
What's remarkable about the Indus Valley Civilization is its advanced urban planning. Their cities were laid out in a grid pattern, with well-organized streets, drainage systems, and even public baths. This level of urban organization was far ahead of its time and suggests a highly sophisticated society.
Exactly. They also had a standardized system of weights and measures, which facilitated trade and commerce. The people of the Indus Valley were skilled craftsmen, producing beautiful pottery, jewelry, and tools from materials like copper, bronze, and gold.
One of the mysteries of this civilization is their writing system. They used seals with pictographic symbols, but despite many attempts, scholars have not yet been able to fully decipher their script. This has left us with many unanswered questions about their language, culture, and governance.
That's right. The decline of the Indus Valley Civilization around 1900 BCE remains a mystery, but their legacy lives on through their contributions to urban planning, trade, and culture in the region. Now, let's move on to another great civilization, the ancient Greeks. Elizabeth, what makes them so important?
The ancient Greeks are considered the pioneers of Western civilization. Their culture flourished from around the 8th century BCE to the end of antiquity, around 600 AD. Ancient Greece was composed of city-states like Athens, Sparta, and Corinth, each with its unique government, society, and culture.
The Greeks made groundbreaking contributions to philosophy, science, mathematics, and the arts. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle laid the foundations for Western philosophy, while mathematicians like Pythagoras and Euclid developed theories that are still taught in schools today.
And let's not forget their advancements in democracy. Athens is often regarded as the birthplace of democracy, where citizens could participate in decision-making processes. The ideas of citizenship, equality, and civic responsibility that originated in Greece continue to influence political systems worldwide.
Absolutely. The Greeks were also masterful storytellers, and their myths and literature have shaped Western culture for centuries. Works like Homer's Iliad and Odyssey are still read and celebrated today for their rich narratives and complex characters.
The Greeks also excelled in the arts, architecture, and sports. Parthenon in Athens is a symbol of classical Greek architecture, and the Olympic Games, which began in Olympia in 776 BCE, are a tradition that continues to this day.
The impact of the ancient Greeks on language, politics, education, and culture is immense, and their legacy remains deeply embedded in our world. Now, let's move on to another influential civilization, the ancient Romans.
The ancient Roman Empire began around the 8th century BCE and became one of the most powerful empires in history. At its height, it covered vast territories across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The Romans are renowned for their engineering and architectural feats, such as the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and the extensive network of roads and aqueducts.
Yes, and the Romans were also incredible lawmakers. The Roman legal system laid the groundwork for many modern legal principles, such as the concepts of justice, equality before the law, and the rights of the individual. The 12 Tables, Rome's earliest code of law, was a significant step toward a legal system that protected citizens' rights.
The Romans were also great innovators in engineering and architecture. They built vast networks of roads, bridges, and aqueducts that connected the empire, facilitated trade, and allowed for the movement of troops. Their use of concrete allowed them to construct massive, durable structures that still stand today.
And let's not forget about their cultural contributions. The Romans were heavily influenced by Greek culture, but also developed their own unique art, literature, and philosophy. Their literature, such as the works of Virgil, Ovid, and Horace, continues to be studied for its impact on Western literature.
The Roman Empire left a lasting legacy on law, language, engineering, and governance. The influence of Rome can still be seen today in the infrastructure of many modern cities and the legal systems around the world.
Now, let's move on to another fascinating civilization, the ancient Chinese civilization. Elizabeth, could you take us there?
Absolutely. Ancient China is one of the world's oldest continuous civilizations, with a history that spans thousands of years. Chinese civilization began along the fertile banks of the Yellow River and grew to become one of the most influential in history, contributing significantly to science, technology, philosophy, and the arts.
The ancient Chinese are credited with many remarkable inventions, such as paper, the compass, gunpowder, and printing. These inventions revolutionized not only China, but also had a profound impact on the world.
And let's not forget their contributions to philosophy. Thinkers like Confucius and Laozi laid the foundations for Confucianism and Taoism, two of the most important philosophical systems in Chinese culture. Confucianism, with its emphasis on morality, family, and social harmony, continues to influence Chinese society today.
The Chinese were also masterful engineers. They built the Great Wall, the Grand Canal, and impressive palaces and temples that have stood the test of time. Their achievements in art, poetry, and literature are equally impressive, with works like The Art of War by Sun Tzu still being studied worldwide.
The impact of ancient China on global culture, technology, and philosophy cannot be overstated. Their innovations laid the groundwork for many aspects of the modern world. Now, let's talk about our final civilization, the Mayan civilization of Central America.
The Mayan civilization flourished in present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador from around 2000 BCE to the 16th century. The Maya are renowned for their advanced understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and writing, as well as their impressive architectural achievements.
The Mayans developed a sophisticated writing system known as hieroglyphics, which was used to record historical events, religious texts, and daily life. They were also skilled mathematicians, developing the concept of zero independently and using a complex calendar system based on their astronomical observations.
The Maya built incredible cities like Tikal, Chichen Itza, and Copan, filled with towering pyramids, palaces, and temples. Their architecture often aligned with astronomical events, demonstrating their deep understanding of celestial movements.
And despite their decline, the legacy of the Maya continues to be felt in the region today. Their descendants still live in Central America and maintain many of their traditions, languages, and cultural practices.
The achievements of the Mayans in writing, mathematics, astronomy, and architecture are a testament to their ingenuity and intellect. Now, let's take a quick break to hear from one of our listeners who wants to share their thoughts about ancient civilizations. Hi there, you're on the air with Jennifer and Elizabeth. What's your name, and where are you calling from?
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Elizabeth. My name is Anna, and I'm calling from New York City. I've always been fascinated by ancient civilizations, especially the Greeks and the Egyptians. I wanted to ask, how do you think these civilizations influenced each other?
Hi, Anna. That's a fantastic question. Many ancient civilizations were interconnected through trade, conquest, and cultural exchange. For example, the Greeks were heavily influenced by the Egyptians in art, architecture, and religious practices. Greek philosophers like Pythagoras were known to have studied in Egypt and brought back knowledge that shaped Greek thought.
That's right, Elizabeth. And in Mesopotamia, the ideas and inventions from earlier cultures like the Sumerians influenced later civilizations like the Assyrians and Babylonians. Even the Romans borrowed heavily from the Greeks in areas like architecture, law, and literature. These connections show how cultures have always learned from and influenced each other.
Wow, that's so interesting. Thank you for explaining that. I love learning how interconnected our histories are.
Thanks for calling in, Anna. We're glad to hear you're enjoying the podcast.
Yes, thank you, Anna. Keep exploring and have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye, Anna.
That was a great call, and it's so true. Understanding ancient civilizations helps us see how interconnected our world has always been.
Absolutely. And for all of you listening, if you're enjoying our podcast, please like and subscribe to our channel. Your support really helps us keep creating these episodes and sharing more fascinating topics with you.
To wrap up, today we explored several of the world's most influential ancient civilizations, from the Egyptians and Mesopotamians to the Greeks, Romans, Chinese, and Mayans. Each of these civilizations has left a lasting legacy that continues to shape our world today.
Remember, learning about these cultures isn't just about understanding the past. It's also about appreciating how these ancient people paved the way for the world we live in now. It's a fascinating journey that connects us all.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our journey through ancient history. Keep learning, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.